Hi and welcome. I've been asked a few times about this one, so I thought I'd just do a quick video on what you need to do to reload the sketch file into a Paris Air. I'm going to do another one on the full Paris board, video like this on the full Paris board. Basically the procedure's the same, just a few different settings. Anyway, some guys seem to be confused or daunted by the whole idea of using the Arduino software and loading sketch files. So this is how easy it actually is. Now, here's what I've got my GUI open here, and as you can see, I've got all these I2C errors because it's looking for a GPS, it says so here, but it's not plugged in. I'm not going to run the GPS on this air anymore. This is just an example of why you might want to reload a sketch file. So I'm happy with how it's flying. I just don't want the GPS on it anymore. So I need to load a sketch file, a non-GPS sketch file. So because I like my PID settings, the first thing I'm going to do in the GUI is click on with connected. We've started, we're running. You've all done this before. By the way, take note while you're here of what the serial port is that you're using. I'm going to click on save. And that opens up a little dialog window, and I am going to give it a name, and I'm going to call it Air Quad, and you could give it a date or a number or something so you know it, and I'm going to stick that on my desktop so I can find it easily and click save. Okay, configuration saved. Okay, and now I have a file somewhere on my desktop. It's disappeared. I'll find it later. Anyway, okay, so that has saved my configuration out of the air. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to open the Arduino software. Now, the version 105 seems to be the most stable. There are later versions, but it seems to increase the file size sometimes, and you don't want that on an air because we're a bit limited. So I've got the Arduino software open, or if you don't, I'll put a link below on where to download it. Now I'm going to go into, I've downloaded some files off the MultiWii website or off the OzScarab Facebook users group, or you've been given a sketch file by a trusted person. Be careful, there's some dodgy files out there. And I'm going to open up the folder I want, which is an Air Quad no GPS. Okay, there's GPS. Okay, and I'm just going to click on the file that has the same name as the folder, and that will open up the actual sketch file. Now, if you need to change things, you click on this little tab and go to config H, and that's where you change stuff. But I'm not going to change anything. I know I'm just going to load, oops, closed it, I just want to load this sketch file. I don't want to change anything. So all I have to actually do, don't even have to go to config H, is open the file up. But before I load that, there's a couple of things I want to do. And you should do this if you've ever got any problems at all. The first thing you should do, go to Tools in the Arduino menu, select Board, and on an Air, that's Arduino Leonardo. Then Tools, Serial Port, and choose the serial port you used in your GUI to connect to the Air. Okay, so now we've got the right device type and the right port type. Important things. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Sketch, File, Examples, eeprom clear. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. File, yours may look a little different. Examples, eeprom clear. Now this clears the eeprom. You might have been told to clear the eeprom. You don't actually hit a button to do it. What you do is, this is a very, very small program that wipes out the memory. So all you have to do now is click on the upload button. That'll compile, and uploading, away it'll go. And so what this is doing is this is turning all the ones and zeros inside the processor into zeros. Now I've got an error message here, which I quite often get. Don't know what it is with errors already in use. So basically, if you keep, I find if I just keep hitting this again and again, it'll eventually work. There you go, done loading. All right. Don't know what it is, but it only happens with errors on this particular computer, so I wouldn't worry about it. But if you do get that port unavailable, just keep trying. Okay. So I've cleared the eeprom. Now it's not a bad idea to do that 3 times. It's up to you. If you've got a big problem and something's really freakily happening, then certainly clear it 3 times. Having cleared it 3 times, now I go to close that file, and now I go back to my air quad, click upload, and it compiles. Now it's uploading. If there's anything wrong with the sketch, you may get, and done uploading. Okay, so I've cleared the eeprom, I've loaded a new sketch, and now I'm going to reopen the GUI. Okay, so I've opened up the GUI again, and I'm going to connect to the COM port. Wait a few seconds, hit start. Now I've got no OTC errors, but all my PIDs and switch settings have been reset, which is a bit of a pain, but we saved our configuration. So we're going to click on load. We're going to go to desktop, and we're going to find our air quad file and open it. Configuration loaded. Okay, that loads my PIDs. I click right, and my PIDs are now reset to what they were before I cleared the eeprom. Now all I have to the only thing I have to do manually once again is set up my aux switch matrix, and I'm ready to fly again. So it's actually quite simple to do a clear and a reload the code. Of course, you've reloaded everything, so make sure you do a mag calibration and an accelerometer calibration before you actually try and fly it. But basically, there you go. You're ready to go. Catch you guys online.